Welcome to Cakes and Cocktails. Today I am making an Oreo cake. I'm going to do a 3-tier Oreo cake with a whipped cream Oreo frosting, and I am going to make an apple cider moonshine cocktail. So the cake is for my brother-in-law, and we are going to meet the family for lunch in about 30 minutes. So I have very little time to throw all of this together. Which is why I chose this cocktail, because I had some apple pie moonshine sitting around. So I'm gonna make a really easy cocktail because I don't have that much time. So I'm gonna add some ice to my rocks glass, and then I'm just gonna pour in the moonshine. It's an apple pie moonshine. I just had it on my bar cart and thought it looked fun. That works. It smells good. I haven't had moonshine in a fairly long time. And my husband and I went to Trader Joe's this morning and found this cold press apple cider. It looks really good. It's got cinnamon, clove, Fuji apples in it. So I'm literally just gonna top this moonshine with some of this Trader Joe's cider. Not every cocktail has to be super fancy. Sometimes it's just about making what you have with, or making something with what you have. All right, so I'm just gonna give it a little stir. It looks good. Looks good for fall. Perfect. All right, so I have a 2-ingredient apple cider moonshine cocktail. Oh my God, that tastes so good. That tastes like it doesn't have a strong taste at all. Wow, that cider is really good. Okay, so we have to crank out this Oreo cake. I have 3 chocolate cakes that I made already, and I'm just gonna stack them and layer them. But first, I have to make my Oreo frosting. This is a super easy frosting, and it's really light and airy, so I'm gonna show you how I make it. I just got a big bowl, empty bowl here, and I'm gonna add in most of the Oreos. I'm not gonna add in all of them because I want a few to top onto the to use as decorations on the cake, but the rest of them I'm gonna throw in here. All right, so I've got a good chunk of Oreos in there. I'm just gonna use a potato masher and just mash them. When you throw them in your blender, it kind of makes this like liquefied Oreo that's not that fun to work with, and I like having at least some like cookies bits in the cake. So I like to have them be about a 1/4 inch or smaller, but not completely pulverized. I usually make my husband do this. Okay, so my Oreos are pretty much crumbled. There's a couple extras I'm gonna snack on. So I'm gonna set the Oreo crumble aside for now. And I'm gonna make some homemade whipped cream with my mixer. If you've never made this, it's so easy, and it makes a really good icing for cakes that you don't want to be too sweet. So I'm gonna show you how to make a homemade whipped cream. It's really light and fluffy. It's a really airy frosting, so you can add in something sweet without it feeling like you're just eating straight sugar. So a whipped cream frosting is like 3 ingredients. It's so easy. But I'm gonna make it in 2 separate batches. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need to use a lot of cream. But if I were to add all the cream in the mixer at once, it would just spatter around and not really turn into whipped cream. So if I make it in 2 smaller batches, I can fold them together to make the perfect frosting consistency. So the first thing I'm gonna do is measure out 2 cups of heavy whipping cream into my mixer. A pro tip, about 5 minutes before you start to make your whipped cream, go ahead and pop your heavy whipping cream in the freezer. It whips a lot faster when it's ice cold. Obviously, you don't want to store this in the freezer overnight, but 5 to 10 minutes before you make your frosting is perfect. And even better, if you can remember to pop in your mixer bowl in the freezer, that will help the process too, because those bowls are metal and they chill down so quickly. Okay, so I have 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. I'm actually going to end up using about 5 total cups, but I'm going to whip the 2 cups on their own first. So I'm just going to throw this on high and let it whip up. And first it hits soft peaks, which is where you can just tell it's a solid cream. That's when I'm going to take it out. Sometimes when you're using whipped cream, you want to get it to what's called stiff peaks, which is when you lift the mixer out and the cream holds its shape. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you have to be super careful with whipped cream, because if you over whip it, it will turn to butter. So you have to watch it carefully. See, mine got to about soft peaks here, so I can go ahead and add it to my mixing bowl. I'm just gonna store my whipped cream here. So I'm just gonna scoop in my whipped cream. And then I'm gonna make a second batch of whipped cream. And in this batch, I'm gonna use a little bit of sugar and vanilla, but this is literally just cream that's been whipped. There's no other ingredient in it, and it is so yummy. I could just eat this by itself. So, all right, so now I'm gonna add the remainder of my whipped cream to the bowl. So I'm gonna add in another 3 cups just so I have a little extra to work with. And I'm gonna add in a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And a tablespoon of granulated sugar, just to sweeten it a little bit. Now the cake itself is mildly sweet, the Oreos are very sweet, so I don't want to overload on sugar for this one. And you can always add more. You know, I taste test along the way. That's half the fun of baking. I almost broke my #1 rule. Never turn your back on whipped cream. That whipped up very, very quickly, but it's good. It's not butter yet, but you can see it's stiff peaks. So when I stick it in there, it's gonna hold its shape. It's not dripping down or falling off the whisk. If I had given that another maybe 10 seconds, it could have turned into butter, and I would have had to start all over, which, you know, is wasteful and frustrating, but I never cry about having to start over things like that. Sometimes accidents just happen when you're baking. If you get upset about that, then your cakes will know and they won't turn out as good. So I am adding in a piping tip to this bag, and I'm gonna add in some of the white whipped cream. I'm gonna do a few fun little like dollops on the top of the cake after I finish decorating. And so I want something that contrasts the like gray color that I'm gonna get with the Oreo whipped cream. So this is my sweetened cream. I'm gonna fold this in with the classic whipped cream. All right, so now I have a bowl full of whipped cream, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in the Oreos. Hopefully this goes okay. So I'm just going to fold all of this in together. So I'm not beating it, I'm not mixing it too hard. I'm really just trying to make sure that the air stays in the cream, but also that I incorporate some of the Oreos in it as well. because that's what's gonna make it a Oreo cake. And yeah, this is exactly the color I want. I want it to look like there are little bits of Oreo all in it. And that's perfect. So now I have my Oreo whipped cream. So now I'm going to decorate my cake. So I have my cake stand here that rotates, which is awesome. I'm gonna cheat and use my little ice cream scooper to get some of the frosting on. I always like having a little bit of frosting in the middle of my cake stand. That just kind of helps adhere the cake. But you know what? Since this one has bits in it, I don't want it to change the level of my cake. So I'm going to use some of my white cream. Perfect. Okay. So let's decorate this bad boy. I'm just gonna get some of this frosting on there. Perfect. Okay. Now we're gonna add in another layer. If I had more time, I would probably trim the layers of this cake because it's a little bit curved, but I'm in a rush, so we are just gonna go with this. Okay. Not bad. I'll take it. I'm gonna speed frost this. Because this kind of looks like a Hagrid cake right now. All right, so I'm gonna use my little scraper and gently, because I don't want to take off the Oreos, I'm just gonna gently scrape it so it's got smoother sides. I'm going to pipe a few decorations on top and then add the Oreos on top of those. Okay. Now I'm just going to pop my Oreos into the frosting. And there we go. We have an Oreo chocolate cake. That's not bad. Thank you for coming to Cakes and Cocktails. Join us next week where I make another cocktail and another cake.